Hello, and welcome to this installment of the 2023 AuthorTube Writing Conference, sponsored by Fictionary, a story editing software for writers. If you're here because of AWC, then go ahead and put it in the chat to let me know. If you've never been on my channel before, I'm Sako Tumi, sometimes known as horror author Cass Voit. I've got 3 self-published books out, and not all of them are on Amazon. Though my degree is in graphic design, I have a fascination with the ever-changing industry of book marketing. You can find me streaming write-ins on Tuesday mornings and on Morgan Hazelwood's Sunday afternoon snack-a-thon. Enough about me. You came here to learn about Bibles as it pertains to writing. A book Bible may be necessary for anything over 75K, featuring info on one book, while a series Bible is usually featuring information about a series of books. It is very easy to start one and even easier to make a wreck out of your writing. So I'll walk you through the organization method I use. Now, due to the time constraints, and I'm not assuming that you're taking notes, I've made a PDF of my notes for you to download. You'll find it in the description. If you'd rather download it towards the end, you can wait until after this presentation. If you're ready, post it in the chat that you're raring to go. Let's start. Decide on a system. Today we're going to use a wiki, but there are a number of systems you can choose from, like a hard copy or Google Docs or Scrivener or whatever. Characters. Devote a section of your Bible to your characters. Feature backgrounds, descriptions, questionnaires, and any other information you might have about your characters. For those that are writing in fictional worlds, it is good to establish the rules of said world. In locations, just like you did with characters, have entries for your settings as well. Outlines. Some authors have extensive timelines with pages filled with when events happen in their books. Other authors prefer to keep it to a bare minimum. If you're more of a minimalist, it works just to jot down notes of how long each book is, along with the moments in your characters' lives. Other things like style, culture, languages, and any other tidbits would be included in their own sections. If you're itching to hear the details of each step, say details now in the chat. You'll notice that some of the items and details I mention here are underlined. That means that in your PDF, there are links to aid in putting together your content for your Bible. Google Drive has an extension called Fulcrum. You no longer need to go to another website like Fandom to put it together. Outline your wiki akin to a document map in various writing programs. If you're unfamiliar with the document map window in Word and Google Docs, you can use the help section or search for it here on YouTube. Links are king on a wiki. It is up to you if you link once or every mention of the character, setting, or other things. That first page it gives you, be sure to make a contents page for your wiki, featuring the last 5 steps on the previous screen. If you've never done character development before your story, this little prompt list will help. Descriptions, backgrounds, and portraits can all be AI generated if you need a helping hand. A 12-question character development questionnaire can be found behind the link. It features questions like strengths and weaknesses, tics or nervous habits, and trauma or triumphs. Relationship maps are the easiest way to document your relationships, and this isn't just for romance authors. In the link, you'll see that Apple has an app called Freeform for various mobile devices that allows you to assign connections to other characters or such by hand. As far as an app for PC, Microsoft has Visio. Just like with your character section, you should have a settings section, which I'm calling locations here. Maps and diagrams of your locations will help you be consistent and help your character interact with his surroundings. If you write fantasy or historical fiction, you can use a site called Incarnate, linked in the PDF. Photos of buildings and locations can be generated in Artbreeder's Outpaint feature for something quick and dirty. Now remember, AI does not replace an actual artist. This is just for quick personal reference. Do not use these AI-generated photos in your promotions. If your location is a business or the setting is used at certain times of the day or night, include the hours. I call it outlines, but you can call it Harry if you want. This will feature your storylines. If outlines aren't your bag, like if you're a discovery writer, maybe include the query letter or any other notes on storyline. Just as you made links to your characters, make pages for your storylines too. Include covers for visual reference. Hey, world builders! If you're writing a fictional world, these things are super helpful. Establishing the systems ahead of time help to bring the reader into your world when you draft. Notes on the actual telling of the story is probably the first step to the drafting stage of your story. Establishing the tone, voice, tense, and POV are essential to being consistent storyteller throughout the process. We covered these topics, but these are the primary sections to your series Bible, and you should be using the titles for your 4 major sections. Remember that these files are for your own reference. This wiki prevents you from doing world building and character info dumps, as well as prolonged prologues in your book or series that can bore your reader. It might be tedious work, but I find that it is easier if you are filling it out as you write. If you don't catch every detail, your alpha and beta readers can have access to this wiki and fill things out for you. Thank you for coming to my talk. If you had any questions during the presentation, I'd love to answer them now. Good morning, you guys. Hi, I am here to answer any questions regarding either the wiki part or the series Bible part. Thank you so much for being active in the chat. Margaret and Shannon and Sam, bless Sam. Fictionary, get that free month. Rachel was hopping in. Martin hopped in. Evan Dow was having technical issues, but there is a new link. Thank you very much, Sam. If you like what you're seeing and learning, make sure you leave feedback. There is a link to the feedback form, I believe, in the description. You get to win. You get a chance to win some awesome prizes. Hello, Heather. Hello, Mama Ward. Okay, so Notion. Notion is another really good. It very much so works like a standard wiki. Yeah. I have not messed with Notion, but I know a lot of authors who do. And like I've been watching videos on workflow and stuff like that in Notion, so I might give it a shot here in the future. Heather is not a mod, but remember to hit the like button. Yay! How far would you go in breaking down the relationships? I do people who get along, people who don't get along, and any other like wacky notes about the that would be prominent about their relationship as well. Have you tried Campfire? I have not tried Campfire, but it looks wonderful. There's I believe they have a free trial thing as well, which I might come Camp Nano next month. I might give Campfire a shot. Yeah. There's a World Anvil is another site that would super help with story Bible-ness. What is the best practice for creating a wiki? I like using Fulcrum. I make sure to title the pages, whatever it is, because if it's just untitled, then you have no idea what it's supposed to be or where it's supposed to link to. I organize, you'll notice that it makes a series of folders in your Google Drive. And you can organize in folders and groups and label things, and it's wonderful. It is. How do you limit who can access it? Just like other Google Docs, you can invite to share, you can invite to edit, you can share a link that gives permissions. I tend to limit who can see it, in that I only make people who have the link able to access it, and I ask them not to share the link. You wouldn't block me from it. I like World Anvil. The drop-down tabs give me so many ideas. Exactly. That is one of the uses of World Anvil. And I believe Campfire does a similar thing in that they give you prompts and such. So, yeah, I would love to dive into that further. I know a lot of authors hide their Bibles. I do. But they can share little bits and pieces along the way with newsletter fans or Patreon. I think that's a great idea. In fact, I might implement that here in the near future, especially for my Damned Hitman series. Because I'm trying to, since it's going to take me a while to rewrite the series, I want to kind of solidify the series Bible. So I'm making a wiki for that. And it's kind of my trial for Fulcrum. So, use the plus sign in the document map. Super helpful. Titles are awesome. That way you won't click the same doc over and over again. Yes. Yes. Check out Sako's books. Oh, thank you. Hi, Emma. I'm going to watch your thing after this. I will. Ooh. Are there any other questions regarding the technology or regarding the series Bible itself, or the document that I included in the description, which I hope StreamYard didn't overwrite it, because I couldn't update my description in StreamYard for some reason. So I kind of updated the description on the YouTube side. Oh, Debbie needs to get back to using Anvil. I might give Anvil a shot just so I can have the prompts. I also somewhere have a PDF that World of Darkness released that helps you build a city. So it has all the essential locations and helps you kind of flesh out each of those locations and helps you build a map. And it can be both a fictional city or a real city, and then, like, you know, worldifying it. I think eventually I will feature it in the description of this video as well, if I can find it. The link still worked for you, but you had to ask for permission. Oh, okay. Yeah, I granted permission. I might have to, let me see if I can go in and make it like actually shareable. Workshops. Share. It is still restricted. Anyone with link. It is now, if it hasn't given the thing, I will share a new link with the permissions. Boop. So every single thing that I talk about in the tutorial, there is a link that will help you progress in your content. Has lots of goodies. I specifically like the 12 things to write about your character, to give them like personality and to give them a backstory, and, you know, to kind of, I like doing a backstory, A, because it gives me things to reference in the story itself, and B, you can, well, I've lost my train of thought. World of Darkness homepage. Also, World of Darkness, White Wolf is awesome in that if they taught me how to do world building as a whole, especially in the urban fantasy, supernatural horror sort of universe. So they have a fan label. So you can submit work, like if you design a city and make it supernatural and submit it as player-made content, you can actually make money. You put it in their shop, and you upload your file, and they download it. If you like what you're seeing and learning, make sure to leave your feedback. You earn a chance to win some awesome prizes too. Check out that bit.ly. It is wonderful. It also includes all my notes for my actual presentation itself. So other than the base specifics from the background link, how deep do you go before writing? Or do you just add the details as you write on the character's backstory? I like having a reason for the character to react to certain things. They might have baggage, and there should be a reason why there is baggage. It depends on the story, who my main character is, and what kind of story it is I'm trying to tell. So a lot of times I will, especially with my settings, I will design the settings as I go so that it is only applicable to what is happening to the character. What is the most creative slang or speech pattern you have created for a world? I don't know that I do, because most of my stuff happens in an urban fantasy sort of setting. So English or Japanese or German or whatever tend to be the languages spoken. So I don't know that I have invented a speech pattern for my characters. Sometimes a character will have an accent, and comic books kind of taught me how to write stuff in other languages. Yeah. So if they're speaking in a language I don't understand, I will put it in brackets or in greater than and less than signs. And the translation will be in it, but it will have like an asterisk at the bottom of the page, translated from Russian. Yeah. That is how I handle that. Yeah, comics were a big help in how I use accents in my books. Absolutely. Absolutely. I learned from Marvel. Marvel was really good at diversity and kind of letting other cultures in, other languages in, and kind of taught me how to interact with those languages when it comes to writing. I think it's really cool. I have done a lot of homework regarding my main Enzo Giovanni, who speaks Venetian. He also speaks English, but every once in a while, he will kind of relapse and speak English with Venetian grammar. So that can throw off other characters and kind of make him a little more endearing in the process. Image did it too. Yeah. But it seems to be I think Marvel made the standard, and then Image kind of learned it from Marvel. I had a character who was Romani, and that was an interesting rabbit hole to jump into. Yeah, the rabbit hole of other languages is a super, I consider myself a polyglot to begin with. I love kind of exploring the basics of every language that I come across. So it's super fun. Colorful language when it gets mad? Yes. Yes. And it also affects his magic at the same time. So I know how to curse in Venetian. So far, favorite phrases I add to the story Bible, especially if it's a different language and an accent. Yeah. Especially if you end up using that phrase as a callback to certain events or interactions or anything like that. Absolutely. Okay. This makes things so much easier when going back to edit. Absolutely. I update my story Bible as I'm writing, because sometimes I'll deviate from my outline. Usually not drastically, but I'll change certain things like character descriptions, or I'll change a setting as far as where the furniture is in the room, or outside or whatever. I will often draw maps of whatever the room how the room is set up. So I drop the character into the room, and they can interact with the room however is necessary. So I invent what the entire universe looks like, and they interact with whatever they interact with, I mention in the book. So I usually leave it up to the editor to tell me if I need to include more information. But so far, my editors really like how I present my information. Sometimes they tell me my character descriptions can be a little info dumpy. So I'm working on shorter descriptions that I can kind of like sprinkle through the chapter so that people can get to know the character as the book progresses. I love doing that. If a character broke a piece of furniture, how do they interact with their universe? I have a shifter who has aliases. As the story goes along, his accents change. So yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds really fun. How hard was it to recreate story Bibles after the big laptop failure? Did you find things you didn't have in the old one? Yes. I actually have a hard copy story Bible that I'm putting together for it, and I have all of my outlines handwritten. So I at least have that. So I have this is what happens in this scene sort of notes. However, I get to the point of the scene is up to my discovery writing, but I now back up on Google Drive and on a hard drive and on my computer. The problem that happened with my laptop crash was my portable drive that had books on it, with the Scrivener files on it, were wiped as well. Both hard drives crashed at the same time. So despite my efforts to save in multiple places went down at once. Good reason to use the cloud, multiple clouds. I would advise using multiple clouds, just in case one of those clouds goes down due to overusage or maintenance, goes down for maintenance or whatever. Google Docs actually has a mode where you can work offline, and then when you next connect, it'll update the file. Losing stuff before the age of clouds, yeah. I now write specifically in Google Docs. I have Scrivener on my system, and I really loved using it, but I want to put the files on the cloud so that I can wipe my system and I can still access my Scrivener files. That would be great. Unfortunately, I did so much discovery writing that I need to go back and look at my novel, RE certain characters, and create a wiki to keep track of everything. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can actually bring up Fulcrum and we can kind of walk through the system so that you guys get a good idea of the kind of like issues you might. It is still a very new feature, a new extension. So yeah, I'll set it up here in a second. 3 places seem to have save. Seems like a magic number. Yeah, I hope so. Hi, Adega. Long time no see. How are you doing? Be sure to check out the presentation notes with all the goodies. There is the link, the Google Drive link to the PDF. And it also includes all my notes for the discussion portions as well. RE, the editors who told you about your info dumping. Yeah. I have lists, but bleh. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, let me bring up Fulcrum. And I can show you what I have so far in my, I'm going through all of my outlines and kind of like tagging new character profiles I need to make, new setting profiles I need, new storyline profiles I need to make. It's super fun. Present, share screen, damned hitman. Boop. Yeah, that works. You see all the secrets. So I'm also making one for as luck would have it. Oh, it's empty. It did not sync. Damned hitman. Oh, that's unfortunate. What I recommend, you'll notice I have a thing for all my characters. I have a lot more characters coming in, but I put the most important ones at the top. And then as they become less important, I will put them more towards the bottom of the list. A lot of times I will access a link to an actual wiki if I'm using a real place, like the Venetian Casino in Las Vegas, for instance. That I will have a page for it. However, I can also link the wiki, the proper wiki for the place, and then like also feature my notes regarding how I've upgraded the system for supernatural involvement. And then I have the outlines. Come on, scroll down. The outlines. I organize it by acts, but you'll notice as I go through and the names come up, I will link them to their own profiles. Oh, I need to do the thing for Kix. Kix is a character. First mention of Kix. Hit the plus. Title that page. This will be for Kix. Kix. Wow. The front suggestion for the thing, you have to kind of like skip past it with your return key. Otherwise, it will just make the notification part of your document, which you don't need. I'm going to make a quick note. Kix is the Oracle of Time and Enzo's mentor. Make sure you hit the save button. Most of the time, it will not auto-save for you. So do keep that into consideration. Hit that save button. And even then, sometimes when you hit the save button, it may or may not take. So I recommend writing the stuff like in a Google Doc. And then you can either link to the Google Doc or you can cut and paste from the Google Doc into this thing. You'll kind of notice when I go back into the edit mode, it gives you like basic webness. You can do like formulas and tables and stuff like that. but you can't get like really super specific. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to save it, and I would like a link to it. Copy. Come on. Copy a link. Oh, it's hanging. Probably because I'm streaming. So, Fulcrum is also a little buggy, as you can tell. Yeah, so we get to see all the goodies. I will stop the screen, but you get the idea, right? So you make the plus, and then you get the link for that page, and then you, in the outline mode or outline page, at the mention of the character, you would paste a link where there is a thing. I am just wrapping up, but if you have any questions, please put them forward and I will gladly answer them until my time is up. But hi, Ashlyn. Or Mint, whatever you want to be called. If you like what you're seeing and learning, make sure you leave your feedback. You can earn a chance to win some awesome prizes too. So follow that bit.ly link to the feedback form. I'm going to have to do the things as well because I've been kind of hanging out in the chats regarding some of the other presentations. You're very welcome. So, other places that you can go for your wiki, fandom is a little more intuitive, and they're titling it something else. Aw, thank you. I'm gonna have to test drive Fulcrum. Yeah, I recommend. It will propagate a folder that says Fulcrum documents, or Fulcrum files, or something akin to that, and you can go into that folder and start retitling things and organizing them and stuff like that, because there are a million files when it comes to your story Bible. So organizing it into folders and stuff like that is super helpful. Thank goodness for G Drive. I don't know what I would do without it. If you like this video at any point, I encourage you to hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like these, there's a whole AuthorTube writing conference until 3 this afternoon. There's a playlist in the description. Please to be checking out even the replays of the past weekend. I strongly recommend you give them a watch, even in post. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.